Sanibonani Awishen Dumelang. My name is Jessica Nkomo, also known as Aunty Diski, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Fut-Afrique channel. This is a podcast where we profile women in sports and talk all things women in football. And here today with me, I am joined by a very phenomenal woman who cemented herself so gracefully within the sporting industry, specifically football. Her leadership skills have been so great, and I get to chat to her today. And I'm talking to Zanele Nhlapho, also known as Mazet from Mamelodi Sundowns, captain. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
Ngiyaphila nami. Thank you for honoring the invite.
Ngiyabonga ukuthi ningi-invite la studio namhlanje. To all the listeners, oh yes, this is your captain Zanele Nhlapho. I'm happy to be here.
I'm having ngiyashayika because I'm in the presence of somebody who's really done so well. When I'm engaging with youth, you know, your under 14s, 15s, 16s, they mention you a lot. That talks about the kind of work that you've done. You're an idol, you are a mentor, you are somebody that a lot of kids look up to. Just for a minute, because this question is always asked, who is Zanele? Who is Zanele? I want you to tell me who's Zanele in a short space, because I want to then talk about things that people don't know. Because anything else that you need to know about Zanele is everywhere on the internet.
Sure.
So very quick, who am I sitting next to?
Zanele is just a young girl with ambitions. We are from the dusty streets of Tembisa. Mtambega, they call it. Like my coach always say, hey, wena, mtana se Mtambega, we are calling, you know, because we as long we are calling Mtambega. So, yeah, it's more like it's a rough place, yeah. But then it was rough like before. Manje, it's better, yeah. So, yeah. Umuntu wabantu nje osimple ungananto eziningi nje ngithanda ukuphila nabantu. I'm forever smiling if you can check.
Yes, true.
Yeah, otherwise there's nothing much special about me. I'm just a person nje oziphilelayo nje njengabonke abantu.
Yeah. It's so phenomenal. You just said Guti, you're a rough place. Sekasi etembisa. And we know Guti, when it comes to development and access to information, access to facility, access to infrastructure for people that want to do sports in those kind of areas is very limited, close to non-existent. And for the fact that you come from a township like that and you're such a household name speaks volumes. Yeah. How did you get into the sporting phase besides Ukabi Polestratini? With the chains, how did it actually then start growing for when uzo fige la ufige corner from a place like that, so that a child or anybody who's listening to you also in the same kind of environment gets motivated to know Guti, it's not the end of the world. Your environment doesn't determine your future and where you end up. You know, sometimes into mawithanda, you just go for it. It's like in life, mawuthanda umuntu, you follow the person until uzufika at the right stage. So mina, that's what I did in football. Ngabona ukuthi ngiyayithanda, and I didn't give up. Even though bekunama challenges like amaningi ngiwafacile, as much as like from area lengibuya kuyo. There are so many things ebezenzeka by then. But ngazitshela ukuthi, you know what, football into engiyithandayo, and let me just go for it. And ngazithola sengila ngikhona. Obviously kunabantu abangiphushile ukuthi ngize ngifike la ngikhona. And today ngigrateful for labantu abangiphushile ukuthi ngize ngifike la, because I believe ukuthi if it wasn't for them, I don't think ukuthi ngabe ngila ngikhona. So I believe ukuthi umuntu yampusha, we push each other ukuthi size sibe successful. So yeah man, there are so many people that I can mention ukuthi bangincedile ukuthi ngifike la ngikhona. Especially umama, because you speak about her so much. Umama, honestly speaking, she's one person who beyangal understand ibhola at all. Beyangal understand ukuthi kwenzakalani. Bakahlala buza imibuzo nje, what's happening ngale bhola lakho in, you understand? But ekugcineni I made sure ukuthi like kancane ngimfaka to a point where uzogcina understand ukuthi what is football kahle yini, why umntwana ama interested kangaka kulento le, we understand. But wagcina naye sekabona ukuthi it's something ukuthi it's fun, it's nice, at least him keep her away from the streets, you know. Ngicabanga ukuthi like I mentioned to you ukuthi from la ngibuya khona, if azangilandeli football mhlambe ngabe ngenza something else engekho right nakhona in life. So ngiyabonga ukuthi nami umama ngiphushe kakhulu ukuthi ngifike la ngikhona.
nami manje I'm looking forward to push other people ukuthi nabo babe successful as much as I am, or maybe more than that, more than me.
Thanks so much. She never knew Guti should be wearing a jersey in her living room at Zanele Nhlapho watching CAF and seeing you lift a trophy and actually hold a medal. So her support definitely is warranted in the fact that it's produced miracles. Let's talk about something that a lot of viewers and people don't know. Because in interviews and in these conversations, we're always highlighting certain things that a lot of people know. I want to know from you, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Yeah. What do you think is something that Zanele is good at that people don't know? Maybe a hidden talent or something that you just want to share with the world that people don't really know about Zanele?
I think maybe people they're asking themselves, why is this girl like each and every year, like captain with Sundowns, I captain I change in Sundowns. Some of the things, there are things that you can't change. Like into uzalwe nayo. So I feel like ngifuna explain abantu ukuthi bazi ukuthi why that thing, like, because they've been asking me, when each and every year you always the captain of the team, why, so like ngifuna ba understand ukuthi some of the things like isn't as natural ukuthi uzalwe nayo lento le ingaphakathi ku, you understand. So like I'm one person njengoba ngisho ukuthi okay, yes, friendly, I'm very friendly, and when it comes to football side, I've got that special thing enginayo engizalwe nayo, uyabona, which is ngifila ngathi ngizoqhubeka nayo until, because ingenze nga realize ukuthi khona into special enginayo, which is bengayiboni all along nami, but people made me to realize ukuthi no man, must start taking these things serious, because it can't happen ukuthi umuntu abe captain more than 10 years in a club, in a single club, especially for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns. It's not easy, with that team you're carrying a lot of things with you, like yes, Mahlombe, you've got players, like the technical team. It's not easy, man. But then if you believe and if you have faith, you would say, okay, this is what I want, and if you achieve into this, so lezo zinto ngicala ukuzi-achieve at a younger age up until ngize ngifike la ngikhona. So abantu they mustn't be surprised that much ukuthi why like ngi-captain since, yabona, because ngifila ngathi into special like enginayo like in life abantu abangayazi. It's leadership qualities, into enginayo like natural, you understand. I can be able to engage well with the players, like I'm one person or friendly. If you want to talk about something, you can be able to talk with me, and then helpful not only in football but also outside, through abantwana. They always like shout at me like Estradini, Zanele, we are mazi, those things. I feel like into is special, like any special ngazo, like into ezifana nalezo, like ngiyabasiza ukuthi if umuntu yakwazi ukuthi okay ngicela ungisize ngento so. I understand. I
love that, and I can attest to that, because what you've mentioned is very true. You have strong leadership skills all the way from your development stages, you know. We've seen the way you carry yourself on and off the field, and I just want to emphasize on the fact that a friendly person, there's certain characteristics that make up a leader. It's not just what your legs can do on the football field, but other characteristics that come with a particular person. And I think you're one person that people can cry to, people can vent to, people can understand. So if you were wondering and asking questions as to why she's been the captain for so long, she has answered it right here on Fut-Afrique channel. Speaking about leadership, I want to talk about the next phase of your life. You are still a player who's predominantly still doing very well. But when we are looking at the pace of football and the journeys of football, we transition into other spaces where we know what's going to happen outside of our footballing career once we are no longer kicking the ball as we regularly do. You are also a coach for the under-14s, the Mamelodi Sundowns team that currently is participating in the GDL league, in the GDL. And you spoke about your leadership skills and how you engage. I've personally seen you engaging with the kids from the teams from last year when you were assisting Aunty Diski and Roda. Tell us how that part of your life has been when you are coaching, because now you are still a player. However, you have to put on another hat of being a coach. How has that transition happened?
When it comes to that journey of me being a coach, like now, it takes a very dedicated human being. And also you need to be committed, and you also need to love what you are doing. So for me, I think I can be able to juggle both being a player and being a coach because I love what I'm doing. And the other thing is that it wasn't easy for me to start this journey of coaching. Honestly, I never thought of being a coach.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought that one day, since, well, okay, playing football and coaching is something different, I found.
True.
Because playing, it's more like, okay, yes, I'm having fun, but coaching, it's another step. Because you're dealing with the players, and players come from different places, you need to know your players, you need to know a lot of things. So a lot of things change along the way. But for me, I can say, in love now, like actually saying in love now, coaching, because I think for me, going to those courses and getting to get information from other instructors and all that, I think it changed umqondo wami in a certain way, because after football I don't want to be a coach, but I need to do something, maybe like go to schools and talk to the kids and give them hope to say that it doesn't matter who to be happy or ubani or wenzani. You understand? As long as you want to do something, it's possible. You just need to be disciplined and committed and make sure whatever just go for it. So for me, coaching, kuyashisa akho easy, but into engayisho ukuthi into engenza ukuthi ngibe in love kakhulu is the fact that coach abantwana and I love kids, and abantwana, they are coachable, at the younger age, grooming them, even though sometimes they will come to you crying and say, coach this, uyabazi banjani abantwana, but then I'm in love with that. Ngiyabathanda mabenza zona lezi zinto lezo, because it's easier for me to grow the kids other than me coaching abantu mhlamba abalingana nami.
Angeke uzositshela wena.
Angeke uzongitshela wena ucanga ukuthi ngoba udlala ibhola uzongitshelana, you understand, and udlale nabo, yabo. So I feel like for me coaching kids, I like, man, I'm so in love with those kids. I think for me so far so good, and for the fact of I attend my course because I have KFD so far in KFC. I'm also gonna go for EP soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanna challenge myself so that I can be able to grow.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the education part about actually having the qualification, because we are transitioning into the space of women's football where everything is now qualification. It's no longer just anybody who has passion wants to hold the whistle or just wants to stand on the sidelines and coach. Now we're saying the school, go get the qualification, and I know you're definitely going to get that B. Let's talk about the support that you've had from the club that you play for. We know it's played a fundamental part in your upbringing and your growth, and the fact that it's elevated you to places of obtaining those qualifications and given you the opportunity to have your practicals as a coach within the club structures. Let's talk about your life at Mamelodi Sundowns and some of your biggest highlights that you've had at the club.
Yeah, I think Sundowns has done very well. For me personally as an individual, like ngifila ngathi bangenzela into eziningi kakhulu izinto. Since well, I feel like I've done so much for the club. Yeah, I've done so much, honestly. I've been with the club since 2007. And obviously by then, but still, I still believed that okay, isn't those change. I stayed with the club, ngaba patient, and then when the opportunity came, okay, are you guys serious about this team and all that?
Yes, we
because,
are.
Yeah, siyazi ukuthi okay, playing for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, kunama opportunity phakathi, so we always see post if you apply for this, or sometimes they buy this into for free. You just they just need your brains and all that, So Mamelodi Sundowns has done so much for me. And as much as Naming contributed to me, I feel like whatever that I've contributed, deserve something like in return. Even though I was not doing whatever that I'm doing for the club, for them to return like something to me. No, bengiyenza ngoba bengithanda, and then amanje club like ngiyayithanda. Yabo inhliziyo yami yonke like ilaphaya. Uyabona, as much as now namanje bangiphele opportunity, like ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuthi bangiphele opportunity, because not everyone odlalela club for so long angagcina end up athole opportunity efana nale. But for the fact ukuthi bakwazile ukuthi bangireward ukuthi okay, now because you guys are almost senior retirement. Most of us like with development side, we go into a retirement side. So it's good for us to see opportunities. And the other thing, it's even when you're not paying for anything. The club pays for you to go to school. You know, those things. Imagine if I had to pay for myself, like and you don't have money to pay for this. But for the fact that and then, you know,
and you come back, we've got
get your qualifications, and then whatever knowledge that you have, just
use
write it off to these kids, you know.
Kids.
So if you like still it club especially like in terms of dominator, we're still gonna dominate, because even if you can come and check like you wouldn't even say because yes, they're playing for under 14s, but we have 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. We don't have under 14 under 14. There's no way. We're grooming from a younger age, 10, 11. That's what we want. That's what we want to see in future. See grooming abantwana right, so that nakusasa mawumbona ku national team, umbona ayenza kahle excel, you must know okay, contributed towards that thing. As much as Sundowns contributed like empilweni yami, and for that I am grateful. You must know bala.
Grateful. We know Mamelodi Sundowns has set the bar. They definitely are front runners when it comes to, you know, the development. And it's nice, you know, when you're doing the work as a player, they take you to school. It would be very disheartening to come and seeing external people coming into that space when you've been there. So they're like, let's take care of our own and actually bring them into these spaces. Big shout out to Mamelodi Sundowns. And my last question I want to talk about is the challenges, the frustrations. There are very many young players, not even just the young, even at our age, who are currently going through the frustration of just maintaining their mental well-being within this difficult sporting fraternity. There are good times and there are bad times. Some have fought hard enough to still hang on. Players like yourself, players like Aunty Diski, players like Boramalepe, people that we talk about right now have held on through the challenges. And it's challenges that come from all aspects of life, not just on the field, at home, personal challenges and so forth. There's a kid who wants to give up, you know. I just want you, as a person who's done so well in sports, what is the message that you can give a struggling or a very confused and frustrated player at the moment, just to give them that hang on message?
Yeah, for me, I feel like mental health as a player is very important. Remember, we are also human before football.
Yes.
We have life before football. So if it means you need to get help, don't be scared. Get help. There are people that you are free, like Maunabo.
Get help.
Get help, get help, because we're going through a lot, honestly, not only in the field of play, like you said to me, even at home. You might find ukuthi like you can't ukuthi ukwazi ukudila nazo zihleli la emahlombe ziyasinda. You just need to go out there and get help. That's all I can say. You must, like, there are people man ukuthi, you know ukuthi Jessica, if I can go to her mangakhuluma naye, she can do something ukuthi angisize, uyabona, because by then when uthola ukuthi usese confused, you don't know ukuthi ungayaphi or wenzeni, uyabona. So find people that you know ukuthi lo mangahlala naye phansi ngeke ngithi ukumbekela indaba ukuthi 1 2 3 so you know, they are psychologists, and I'm glad ukuthi manje like they are trying to introduce ama psychologists,
we are normalizing
like
emathimini
to normalize lento eyenzakalayo, because like kuningi man. Kuningi, so they mustn't give up but try to get help and make sure ukuthi masothola usizo. And also I think the other thing, in the environment ophila kuyo na environment abantu ophila nabo, sometimes you know there are people ukuthi uphila nabo but mase kunzima they stretch out, uyabona, bayaphuma nabo empilweni yakho because bayabona ukuthi hayi manje going through things, you understand? So I feel like you should, environment yakho na important, uyabona, abantu ophila nabo kumele kuba abantu okwaziyo nabo ukukhalela kubo, and mawukhalela kubo ingatholi manje ngikhalela kuwe and then the next thing now so uyathatha indaba zami uyazidlulisa, you understand? Mele ngikhalele kuwe and then iphelele lapho and then from there ngifeel better, You understand? Ukwazi ukungisiza, ngikwazi ukuthi okay kusasa ngakwazi ukubuya ngikhalele ukungisize then life iqhubeke because if environment ingekho right nayo then I think that's the other challenge nayo eyenza ukuthi abantu bagcina sebana le mentality ukuthi ay kuyafana ngiyeke ngive up and ukuyafana angeke aza kusendawo. If you want something go for it. Iba strong. Yabo kumele ube nale mentality ukuthi ngifuna uba strong. Yes, we're not the same as fani nani but izama nje by all means ukuthi I need to be strong but if you can't cela usizo like ngishilo ukuthi cela usizo.
I like that. Ask help because I feel like it's also it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
In the Black community where we haven't normalized to ask for help. Maybe we come from households that tell us to keep quiet when we want to cry. So I think it's very important that you said ask for the help. Go seek the help from a friend, a family member, somebody you believe you can trust. I think when I opened the agency, the first person that we got into the agency was the therapist because I found it sometimes maybe you can't trust certain people but a professional. So there's no shame in asking for help. It's definitely going to help you. Wow, this was an amazing conversation and I think we need a part 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 because you know there's always so much to say and there's so much wisdom that you're always just giving out. Thank you so much for having us. Keep breaking those boundaries, keep breaking the stereotypes, keep doing so well. We want to see you not lift the trophy just as a player, also as a coach. You know?
By the way, I've lifted so many.
You see, as a coach, and they just need, I mean, the awards just need to keep giving and giving and giving. And one day, you know, when we talk about legends, we talk about people like you. When the young ones are coming through, they can look at you as, you know, the Portia Nhlapho's of today, you know. So thank you so much for having this wonderful conversation. That was Zanele, also known as Mamelodi Nhlapho, the captain of Mamelodi Sundowns, talking all things football and her life in the footballing space. Thank you so much, and I hope you click, you like, you subscribe, and you follow us on all our social media platforms. From myself, Jessica Nkomo, also known as Aunty Diski, it's a wrap.